This video is brought to you by Squarespace.
Hey, Twink!
Oh, hey, girl! That's my job, daddy.
I remember when this show's trailer initially dropped and the response to it was, let's just say not welcoming. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the trailer, I was not impressed at all. In fact, I had a video lined up and everything about how Q Squad was contrived, using woke jokes as a crutch to make the show seem more clever than it is, and overall just another show to throw in the garbage. Thank God I was too lazy to finish that video. For that, and that alone, kept me from being permanently etched into the wrong side of history. Because Q-Force is actually not that bad, and I don't think it ever was. But do you know what was bad? I don't know what has been in the water the past decade or so, because none of these companies know how to market their TV shows anymore. High Guardian Spice comes to mind. If you don't know what that is, it's a TV show that was produced by Crunchyroll that was stoned months before it even aired. And partially that was due to the trailer. They didn't even talk about the actual show in it.
High Guardian Spice is about 4 girls who live in a magical city and are going to school to become guardians.
It's funny and it's warm and it's adventurous and they're letting us make it a little bit weird, so that's right.
So while the show definitely had problems, its rating was abysmal before release. The trailer for Q-Force showed the show, but it just framed it so incorrectly. A trailer is supposed to give you the hook and not the conclusion, just enough information that you're curious what happens next, but not too little that you don't care what happens next. Somehow, Q-Force told too much in its initial trailer, but in a way that it didn't depict the show. A lot of the backlash the show initially got was because the show misrepresented it. So, let's talk about Q-Force. Is it actually that bad? Hey guys, it's Spooksy back at again with another video. Today we're going to talk about Q-Force, which is something you guys were interested in when I brought it up way back when, so here's the video. Before we get into it though, here's a quick word from our sponsor. Squarespace is an online website builder. If you're an artist, Squarespace is one of the best ways to set up an online portfolio, and that is why I use it personally. It's fully customizable and I feel it really lets me express myself artistically. However, that can be overwhelming, but do not fear, there's a huge array of flexible website templates you can start with. You can build off of them and make them effective for every device. You can also set up an online store and sell both physical and digital products. And there's even an option to sell member-exclusive memberships where you can add paywalled content. Check out squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/spooksy to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So, Mary is a highly competent secret agent in training at a spy school. You get the point. He was initially going to be awarded for his achievement by, getting his own spy squad, but it was taken away from him after he admitted he was gay to everyone there.
There is my true self. None of you asked, but I'm sure as hell gonna tell. I, Steve Merriweather, the valedictorian of your class and the future of the agency, am a gay man!
Side note, the show is really camp, so just be aware of that if you end up watching it. Okay. To add further insult to injury, they place him in some California city and don't assign him a single mission for 10 years. Mary is still positive, hoping for the best for some reason, despite getting absolutely bitched on stage. But anyway, when he meets other people who've also been kind of screwed over in some way, something strange is going on, he figures. And he and his team of misfits, which is honestly just other people of the LGBT community, they start solving missions and the series goes on. There's antics, plot twists, betrayals, it's a good watch, okay? Something that I really like about the show is despite its marketing, it's not constantly about the gay experience. You get a really good balance between the hardships of being, oppressed minority, while also getting the fun, whimsical agent story. The secret agent mission plot is really engaging, and I found myself wanting to know what happens next. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this ain't no Across the Spider-Verse, alright? So manage the expectations. But if you're in the mood for a fun animated comedy, I'm just saying it's on the table. Now, there are things that I don't like, and if your girl can do one thing, it's complain. So I'm going to list them. There's 2 kinds of jokes in the show. The ones that are funny, and the ones that are too long. When a joke lands, it lands. When it misses. The jokes that had incredibly specific pop culture references rarely hit for me, and I don't even consider myself someone who doesn't interact with that kind of material. I've said this before, but pop culture references age horribly in animation. It's over a year after you've made the script that this gets animated, and probably another one before it reaches our screens, so the joke is already outdated. There were jokes about the Queen of England. Homegirl is not here right now, okay? This tends to happen when comedians are in the writing room. Comedians love pop culture references like no other. The other one is a little hard to explain, but essentially there will be a setup and then a punchline. Part of what makes this structure effective is the brief confusion someone has when they are told the setup. But the setup for the jokes are so like self-explanatory, there's no need for a punchline. So when the punchline is given, it's just unfunny. Like a joke will be like, wow, she lifted those bricks up like she was a bear because she was strong. Like the jokes aren't that bad, but like we get metaphors and similes. Like you don't have to explain them. Like you don't have to explain them to us. Alright, I'll move on. Something that I really enjoyed about the show is despite the queerness being pretty much the only similarity between all these characters, they actually are written to really bounce off each other well. My biggest issue watching this show was Twink. His whole character needs to be redone, I'm sorry. Out of all the characters, he acts like a person the least. I also am not a fan of his design. You know, it's just not giving to me, but I don't think Twink ruins the show. In fact, I think he only ruins about maybe half the scenes he's in. He has some moments too, like some good moments too, but he's really annoying. Like I said, other than that, which is a pretty small nitpick all things considered, it's a good show that's worth the watch. And especially after watching this show, I need to question why I felt so strongly after a single trailer. Why did I conflate maybe a couple of mishandled jokes with weaponizing wokeness? It's kind of worth discussing. Even with shows like Velma, you know, High Guardian Spice, like I'm not saying yay or nay about these shows, but there is a pattern. Because these shows weren't even released when the gates of judgment opened up and consumed them. I don't know who needs to hear this, but watch Q-Force if you haven't already. And let me know if you like it. If you stay here this long, Booksy, signing out.